you'll get to vote on. But we're also doing something a little bit different this year. We have a new sponsor in Roman 3, and they are offering, and my company is offering a prize of consulting and human resource education for all the applicants, which is about $625. So everybody's going to walk away with something today. And I know we always feel bad that just the prize just goes out to one or two winners, but the purpose of this award is to really try to bring everybody into the community, help everybody out as much as we can, link people to the resources that are out there. And many of you are in this room here today. So I'm just going to, before I introduce our guest speaker today, Matt Winchester, I just want to point out that the entrepreneurs, the people that apply for these awards, we have to give them a lot of applaud and support. And I think we should try to support them in any way that we can, winners and the applicants as well. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, they learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. They learned that, you know, what it's like that you don't get paid every 2 weeks and you have to live your life and plan your life around that. You have to put up with sometimes that your family thinks you're nuts of what you're doing, and they challenge you and they push you. And you have to persevere, but through many different challenges that would sort of knock a lot of other people out. I've been in agriculture for over 40 years now, and over half of my time has been as an entrepreneur. And I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs in the ag sector to help them move their dreams forward. And that's what I've noticed, is that dreams are pretty powerful, and it'll take people, it'll help people overcome a lot of challenges that they have. And one of the other things too is that most of these entrepreneurs, I call them boomerangs, because even if something doesn't work out for them the first time, they come back with something else, and they'll come back. And entrepreneurial spirit is something that just gets in people under their skin and moves them forward. So I implore you to, or implore that, you know, we support all these people that are in the community. That brings us up to Matt. And I've known Matt since 2017. I've seen him evolve over the last 4 years into quite an interesting business. We chat a lot. We have a good relationship. Matt has a company called Food Bite. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about what it is. I'll let him explain for you. But Matt Winchester, why don't you share with us some of your experiences, and we'll have a little opportunity if somebody wants to ask him a question in the end too. So Matt.
Sure thing. Thank you, Gary. So yes, my name is Matthew Winchester. I founded, the original company name was Integrated HACCP Solutions. Don't let engineers name your company, please. Just but what initially we were doing was looking at a problem that I identified while I was working in the United States with regards to basically it started as food waste, where I saw a lot of crops that farmers were producing out of North Carolina just get tilled back into the ground because they didn't meet product specifications for getting into retail. And I thought that was really strange at the time. So I started exploring the idea, and it eventually built into enough groundswell that we could, I could turn it into a company. So I founded it with a couple of friends of mine, and fast forward years in the future, and now we have Food Bite. We got to the point where we're like an established B2B software company. We sell all across Canada, food safety, regulatory compliance software. And if you're looking to get food safety or like get into HACCP, we can help you with that process.
So tell us about, I guess, what was your sort of aha moment that you decided that this was for you?
So I was initially exploring it, full disclosure, while I was still working for the other company in the United States. I was exploring this idea, and the aha moment kind of jumped on me when I started talking to food companies back home. And I realized these were like fairly large companies, but like I was talking with a processor in Annapolis Valley, and I said, like, how do you run your food safety program? Could you like show me what kind of documentation this produces? And they were, albeit a large food company, and they were doing a variety of different products, and they couldn't just put a binder in front of me. They had to go and get shopping carts and like bring in shopping carts full of paperwork and start putting it on the table. And I said, look, like this is kind of cute that you got data that from like the last 10 years, but I'm just saying, like, what do you do on normal? And they said, this is this quarter's monitoring reports. So I started realizing this is actually a serious pain. When I was able to quantify it with the company, they could get down to the dollar value. And I realized, wait, so everybody has to do this now in the food industry because of Safe Food Canadian regs, and all across multiple countries, people are going through the same problem because governments are waking up all across the world trying to standardize food law. Well, maybe there's an actual real opportunity here.
What did winning the award in 2017 do for you, Matt?
So Gary asked me this question quite a bit, of course, and I always give him the same answer, which is winning the award was good to get money. Don't get me wrong, money's great as an entrepreneur. But Gary and the other members did something that was really useful for us as a startup. Is they actually Gary got me in his car and we drove around to companies across Annapolis Valley, and he walked me in and said, "This is Matt Winchester. This is what he's doing. Why don't you talk about Matt, but what you do?" And that was all it took to just start having people open up. They said, "Come on in. We'll show you how we make product, show you the team, talk about our current problems." Getting money is great, but being able to make connections in the market and talk to members of the industry, hear their problems, hear about how they're dealing with their problems, what's their priorities, that information is critical to be able to move forward as a startup, because it's not just a validation, it's being able to plan and be able to articulate what is the real value proposition due to what is the real pain they're feeling.
Good. What's the worst challenge you've faced, Matt?
Worst challenge I faced was, it was a while ago, and this is something as an entrepreneur that was difficult for me to do, is when we founded the company, as I mentioned, it was originally Integrated HACCP Solutions. And the problem was, two of my friends I founded it with, and one left early just because he realized he didn't want to do this, but the other one stayed with me for a while. And we had two separate ideas of two different dreams or goals or aspirations of where the company should be. And eventually the fork in the road became so much of a problem that there had to be a split. And going through that split was very emotional for us. It was very difficult, but eventually we came to an amicable deal, and just kind of like figuring out early on, I think, and this would be my advice for other entrepreneurs, is figuring out early on if this co-founder of yours, if you share the same dream, if you share the same goals, do you both see a way that you can move towards that together, hand in hand? Because your co-founder, basically, you're going to be marrying for the next 3 to 10 years as you build up this business. So you got to really understand who this person is and make sure that they have the same vision that you do.
One of the challenges entrepreneurs often face is money to get to the next level and keep the whole business rolling. Like, what are some of the experiences you've had around that, and what maybe advice could you offer people?
So raising money is always difficult because when you're early on, you don't have customer revenue to go off of. So it's always been this thing where I'm really good at keeping numbers and keeping up to date on like what's our runway. And it gets to the point where it's like, oh, we're 3 months out from not meeting payroll. You gotta go and find some government grants, or gotta go start raising money. And we were doing this kind of hectically for a little while, until the point where I decided it's probably better for us to do this in like specified rounds of how we're going to raise this money, have very strict limits on who can invest, why they invest, and have clear objectives. So I started doing research on how software companies raise money using the different investment rounds. And we did a pre-seed round, and we ended up raising 500,000 off of that through, and our first investor was actually from the Annapolis Valley. So it was good to kind of put it in structure and figure out how we build this up and move it out, and then be able to execute on it rather than just hectically running around all the time.
The last question I have for you, Matt, is like, what are you fired up about right now? Where do you see the future going, and what are you excited about?
So food is definitely changing. Like we're seeing like fast moving consumer goods, or like CPGs, kind of blow up in the market right now. And with the new regulations in play, everybody needs to have a food safety plan. And I know this sounds a little strange, but for the most part, the market has a way of looking at food safety as like, I'll go get a food safety program, retailers need it, and then we have auditors come in and give a thumbs up, thumbs down. And it's a lot of descriptive information flying back and forth, but what I want to have is kind of normative information. And that's ideally where I'd like to have Food by Go, is get to the point where we can look at HACCP plans and help the evaluation process of, are these valid CCPs? Is this like a functioning program? Be able to give high-end analytics back, not just say like right now with our product, like we could get to the point where we can tell you like, this is a problem on your food safety program and work with the company, but actually getting to the point where we can make prescriptive measures back to the company.
And just maybe a final one just for everybody, like how have you staffed up in the last few years, and how has that grown?
So we rolled out, well, we're still rolling it out. We started development a few months ago. I say a few months ago, but it's not, it's like half a year ago, on our API to get it up to the point where our API is basically like a backend data system that can customers push their data to, and we analyze it and store it. That's been ongoing. We had to staff up for that, hire 2 new developers. And then the start of this year, we decided that we needed to start investing in customer success. So we hired on a customer success representative, and also it was kind of a team debate, but we realized that it's probably for the best is hiring on a food safety expert to come on and work for FoodBite, so that they can help us craft content out and be able to figure out spot solutions for customers when they need it.
Good, good. We have a moment or two for some questions. Does anybody have a question for Matt? I can't see everybody in the... Well,
everyone's super shy.
I know. Everybody always in these systems. Yeah. Well, anyway, Matt, I do really appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with us and share with us, you know, kind of what the award's been able to do for you and help and, you know, contribute to the development and growth of agriculture in the Annapolis Valley. So can we give a nice round of applause for Matt for attending? Thank you. Okay. Nyla, do we have the capacity to do the door prize? Okay. This is a little plug here. Hutchison maple syrup is our door prize draw for this moment. Nyla, could you tell us who the winner is, please? Looks like Julie Melanson is our winner. And Julie, we'll have to get your contact. Well, I guess we probably have your contact information. We'll get this out to you. Thank you very much to Hutchison Acres for that door prize. Now let's just get to our agenda here. We need our fireside chat with our applicants. And just in random order, I'm just going to ask Kara Friesen from Piecemeal Provisions to come forward. And
hi,
Kara,
Gary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm glad you're here today.
Me too.
And Kara, I'd like you to give us a really good explanation of, we've got about 5 minutes here to have a chat with you, of what your business is, your concept that you're putting forward, and give us a really good explanation so everybody here understands, okay?
Okay, great. So what I like to say is if a CSA and a meal kit had a baby, you would have piecemeal food provisions. So what we do is provide a meal box. Once a week, there's 3 meals in each box that the customer makes at home. And actually Fiona Lewis, the chef who works for me, is here. So hi, Fiona. I see you. So she actually creates all of these amazing recipes that piecemeal customers enjoy each week, and it's on a monthly subscription. We have a Halifax and an Annapolis Valley pickup location, and all of the food is sourced from either Annapolis Valley producers or small stores like EOS and Wolfville. So they're the people that provide us with our spices. So all of the piecemeal subscription money is going back into the community.
Good. So what was your big aha moment when you thought about your project and said, this is what I want to do?
So actually, Gary, I had a meal box at my house once. I tried it once and I said to myself, this is really easy, but look at all of this plastic. And there's definitely a way to do it better. And honestly, Gary, I'm surprised that no one has done it yet. So I'm just kind of the first person on that's taken the leap to do a smaller version of a meal kit. So I made the meal, and then I had all of these little bottles left over. So that's why we also offer a jar return program. So everyone brings back their jars, and we sanitize them and then reuse them each week. So you can actually have peace of mind while you're prepping your meals.
So what's the future you envision for your business here?
Oh, so much. I would like to, by the end of this year, have 80 subscribers. Right now we're at about a steady 25 subscribers. I'm blown away by the subscription rate we have right now, just starting in February 2021. And the feedback, great feedback. So I really want to keep that consistent, give a really good quality product, and expand over time to include a few more people on the team, more hours for the people on the team, and just have a really streamlined operation.
Good. Why do you think people should vote for you today in the People's Choice Award?
Oh, I'm just passionate. I'm just really excited to be here and get the ball rolling with this business. And I think that this is an important step for the food and beverage community, as well as the agricultural community in the Valley.
Good. So, Kara, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing what you're doing with everybody. I'm sure everybody else does here. As I mentioned earlier, this is how we can all help support everybody, and go check out Kara's piecemeal food provisions, her website. And I guess we can probably are we okay dropping the your website into the chat box?
I can do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Good. Thank you. The next one that we're going to introduce is Rebecca Tran and Heather Lunan from the Station Food Company in Windsor, or in Newport Station. Rebecca, Heather, how are you doing? You're muted still.
Yep.
That's our new,
Gary, thank you.
Yeah, that's our new big question we have in virtual. Rebecca and Heather, I'd like you to just share a little bit about maybe what you're doing and your concept of what you're doing with your project with everybody, please. Are you there?
Sorry, you just cut out, Gary. I missed the whole question.
Okay, sorry. I'd just like you to share a little bit about what the Station Food Hub is and the project that you're bringing forth here.
So the Station Food Company is a tenant of the Station Food Hub here in Newport Station. We are a business that's in the throes of pushing forward in a more scaled up sort of way. We in fact are looking at beginning our new processing space in the next little while. So what we the product that we are working on, we call puree scoops. And it came to us because we were looking for a way to use the waste product that we've heard spoken about. Matt referred to it earlier about, you know, the amount of product that either doesn't even get out of the field or else gets as far as the grading station doesn't quite meet the grade or what have you. And how could we take that waste product and turn it into a value for producers? And so it would have to be a product that was processed so that it didn't matter either the size of the cauliflower head or the condition of the potato or whether or not the carrot had a kink in it. So we had to figure out a way to turn it into something that we could mask all of those supposed deficiencies. And we came up with this idea and have since spoken with, so we're in conversation with the Nova Scotia Health procurement people, because our idea is that we want to have, we want our business to have a significant impact on the food system of Nova Scotia, and coming from through institutions to sell our product would be a way where we could in fact do that, so that we can get to the point where we're actually farmers can even produce in confidence of knowing that, or plant in confidence of knowing that, you know, in the following season there will be a market for what they're planting. So in a nutshell, that's the story of the puree scoop.
Oh, good. So where do you think this scoop product can go? What's the product? What are the possibilities associated with it?
Yeah, so as Heather mentioned, they're a product that's value added and frozen in 85-gram portions. So they'd be ideal for institutions, long-term care facilities that may need a texture modified product. But the great thing about the scoops that we've developed is they're single ingredients. So we've been working with sweet potatoes, beets and parsnips, for example, and they can be added to soups and casseroles and desserts. We've been looking at product development with some institutional cooks and chefs, and working on ways to incorporate these scoops into an assortment of menu items for institutions across Nova Scotia.
And beyond.
Good. So what do you think this would do for the region?
Oh, we can see this. So there are two parts to the project, but as far as the puree scoops are concerned, we're really, really passionate about helping farmers extend the value of their crops. That, you know, the 40% that we hear about that is just lost. If we could help turn a percentage of that around into a value to the producer, without a doubt, it could have a huge impact all the way around. Because we'll be a larger scale, we anticipate a number of employment opportunities, and then everything that goes around.
Okay, you're just freezing up a little bit here, so I'm just going to leave you with this last question, and hopefully your system works here. Give us a pitch of why everybody should vote for you in the People's Choice Award. I guess we're going to have to get high-speed internet over to the station food hub here. Well, if we get a chance, we'll come back to that. That brings us along to Revival Seeds, and Ken, and I believe who's all here from?
Mallory's with us today.
Hello.
And I'm just going to go through who I think's all involved in your group here. There's Kathy and Ken Burka, and their daughters Mallory, Rachel, and Victoria. And they're all part of the team here. So Ken is, as I mentioned earlier, he's the kind of the odd duck out here in the women's entrepreneur push here. So I'd like you folks.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. Could you share with us what's going on with your project and a little bit of background with your project and introduce us a little bit more to your people?
Sure. Well, welcome to one of our germination rooms here. Heating up a little bit, as you can tell. So we're right in the middle of sowing tomatoes and peppers. It's busy. It's been busy right through. We are an heirloom seed company, 4th and 5th generation. And we moved basically to Nova Scotia to look for a place to create and resurrect a company that started in the 1920s in my family when they came over from Ukraine. And we kept trying to find a place in the world, basically, or Canada, I should say, where we could find a proper isolation for doing what we need to do, local pollinated seed. And Nova Scotia became that place instantly as we explored a little bit more, and our kids decided to go to post-secondary here as well. So that's why we're here. The nature of the business is extremely important to us for many reasons. One, we need to increase seed security, which obviously leads to food security. Without seed and resurrect a company that steps into place instantly as we explore a little bit. This is extremely important to us for many reasons. One, production. And it's important to have seed at place instantly secondary here as well. So that's why we're here, meaning that the seed needs to be produced in an area that can be grown by flowers and vegetable seed, and particularly for Atlantic grown seed. We think it's extremely important that we have those climatic structures in place to do that and produce a crop that we can finish. So there's lots of challenges is what I'm trying to get at here. And Revival Seeds is now producing enough inventory for about 10% of our customers. The demand is incredible. So that's one of our challenges, is to produce enough inventory and to produce a disease-free garlic seed, because currently it doesn't exist in most of Canada, actually.
Good. So what is it you're looking for from the award to do for you?
Well, we certainly need some of the technology. We need some of the commercial dehumidification, some structures in place to be able to do rapid curing of garlic. We would certainly like to work with some of the knowledge out there, the perennifer one, that would help us to foster and create that product. So it's not just capital investment, it's investment in the knowledge, the base that's out there as well, and the education. We need to work with both of those resources. The other element there I think would really help us is just to find ways to manipulate the challenges that we face with climate change. And there are more extremes as we go through every year. We've got some interesting data from our own mesoclimate on the North Mountain in the last 10 years that shows extremes in diurnal temperatures and so forth, and frosts. So we're getting longer seasons, but the shifting of the seasons is creating some real challenges to growing seed. Seed crops take a little bit longer to finish. So those kinds of things are important. So it's not just, like I said, the structures to manipulate the environment, it's also the knowledge, tapping into that knowledge that's out there.
Good. So where do you think your business can go in the future, and how can it grow?
Well, you can take that one.
Currently we ship products all across Canada. Eventually we'd like to tap into some other markets internationally, kind of expand the knowledge we have here and share it with people across the world. What we have here is really unique, especially in the Annapolis Valley. So we just want to educate people as well and share how we do things here, how we save seeds. And that's another huge thing we have about our company is we provide videos, how you do this. And
we want our customers to be successful ultimately in the end. So that's very important to us. And we also know that there's a huge export market. We constantly have customers asking us if we'll ship abroad. And we have started shipping to some of the Scandinavian countries. And we're getting some returns for some interesting heirloom varieties as well. It's a real fun business to be a part of.
That's great. And it's super important to be protecting those seed sources for the long term. What's your last little pitch here to have everyone vote for you for the People's Choice Award?
Well, I think the business is going to expand. It is expanding, and we are looking for employees. So we would like to employ people that are interested in working with seeds and working outside and working in greenhouses and packaging and so forth. So we're looking at currently looking at hiring 3 or 4 seasonal employees, as well as 2 or 3 part-time employees as we get into the summer season here. So I think we're going to build a pretty big institution here called Revival Seeds, and it'll be very well known as an Atlantic entity.
Well, thank you, and thank both of you for that information.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Our final interview is with Michelle Morrison from Maple Grove Nursery, and Michelle has been introducing a technology that's changing the nursery greenhouse industry a little bit. So Michelle, would you like to share with us what your project is?
Yeah, so we're an established tree and rootstock nursery here in Clarence, which is just outside of Bridgetown. So we grow a range of landscape and fruit trees, but the foundations of our production have always been to control that from the start to the finish. So we don't rely on imports at all. And just to speak to your aha moment, when we arrived in the Annapolis Valley, I'm Canadian, we wanted to return to Canada. That's another story. But when we realized there's no more commercial production of rootstock, and all the imported rootstock that's here by semi-truckload in the spring comes from Europe or from the Western United States. So for us, that was the beginning of establishing our business here. As to the new technology, do you have another question, Gary, or do you want me to just continue?
I'd like you to just keep going.
Sure, okay. So the need for sustainable practices in horticulture, it really doesn't need to be debated. I mean, sustainable practices in every industry. So for us, when a technology came along that could allow us to reduce the use of plastic, well, actually, we don't dispatch any single-use plastic anymore from our facility. That system is called the Elipot growing system. It's a propagation and growing system. So our nursery will be a fully Elipot nursery this year. So that means a paper membrane that holds your potting media. And when I send a tree out to you, be it a backyard gardener or a commercial apple orchard or whatever tree we're growing for you, you're actually not receiving anything that you have to then dispose of in landfill. So it actually is a great Danish invention. It's used in 120 countries. And so now we've got access to some great growers and stories and experiences, just like anything I need help with. So I got someone to come and want to use this organically. I didn't know much about their inputs and what they needed, but the company's right there behind us. So just because we've invested in the technology, they haven't just let us flounder with it. So what's been under anticipated is how many other people in the horticultural industry want access to this technology. And one day I hope these machines pop up everywhere, because it'll really green things up as far as the production goes.
It's good. So what do you see the real benefit for the Annapolis Valley from the technology?
Valley, I mean, I've never been in one place in Canada that has such a range of horticultural stuff going on. I mean, we often see the apple orchards because that tends to be our part of our focus, but right across the board, there's nothing that isn't grown here. I mean, of all the places to grow things, we have great microclimates. So when someone tells me they're growing figs, I believe them because it's true. You know, we might not be able to at Clarence, but so basically to be able to reduce labor, have much healthier plants, not throw all that plastic away every season. That's where I see, I think, just knowing about it. Some of the growers who've come to me have known about it, but the closest you can access pre-made Elipots is from AMA Horticulture. So shipping becomes an issue, and it doesn't really factor. So then it takes away the profitability of using the system. So I really hope to have fun implementing it in my nursery, and also see us perhaps become this pre-made source until such time that maybe a facility thinks, great, it's our turn to jump on board and make our own. You know, I'd like to see them pop up. Like I say, they're all over the world, and it's really helping the industry.
I'll just give you also a little chance to do your final pitch of why people should vote for you for the People's Choice Award.
Yeah, well, I think we're realizing that we need to do better and make better choices for the planet. And so as consumers, the more consumers demand that practices change, and that when you go to buy your plants, you realize what kind of inputs there are or how far away they're coming from. So if we can support people to grow these things locally 100% without reliance on imports, and start demanding that, it can make a difference. So for the application, I was talking about making more sizes. And so we're just trying to be applicable to that whole broad range of horticultural, the participants in the Valley.
Good. Thank you very much, Michelle. And is it okay with everybody that I put your email or your website addresses into the chat box? Good, good. Just so that everybody has them and they can look at them as well. As you've seen, we've got some amazing things going on in the Annapolis Valley. These 4 applicants this year are all stellar. This has been great to have this group of people come together. I think it's really, to me, there's a lot of really unique things going on. And in my career, I've had an opportunity to basically travel all of Canada, a lot of the US and around the world to see things. And we definitely are a really unique little area and doing some very interesting things. And I think it deserves, us to continue to support them through programs like this. I'll also say that the award, the A3 award through the Chamber of Commerce is very unique. I haven't seen anything like it anywhere else in Canada. I'm pretty sure there's no other Chamber of Commerce doing it, where businesses, you'll see government agencies sometimes putting things together, but where businesses, local businesses come together to help other businesses. This is the goal of the whole concept here and what we're trying to do. Before we go to the People's Choice Award, do we have another door prize, Nyla?
Yeah, we do. But you want to give Rebecca and Heather a chance to see if they can do their little pitch for the...
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Rebecca and Heather, we lost you before. You froze up, and you have a chance to go back and just give your pitch of why everybody here should vote for you in the People's Choice Award.
Okay, well, I think, thank you for the opportunity. I know our internet kind of cut out there a little bit. I think Heather and I, we really took an opportunity to listen to what the farmers needed and what the institutions needed to help get more local Nova Scotia product on the plates of people in our hospitals and long-term care facilities. And I think we really tried hard to develop a product and a service to meet the needs of a lot of the pain points that people were facing. So I just think it'd be a great opportunity to win your vote for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Judy, what's the next door prize there? Ah, Van Dyke's Wild Blueberry Juice. Nyla, can you spin the wheel, please? Tanya Moore, Van Dyke's Wild Blueberry Juice. Enjoy. Now this brings us up to the time for People's Choice voting and how this is going to work. We're going to have a poll and everyone can have one vote, and we'll see it probably, we can all see what happened in the end here, but I'm just going to go over everybody again just for reminder here. We have Michelle Morrison from Maple Grove Nursery with her technology to reduce plastics out of the nursery industry and the growing industry. We have Kara Friesen from Piecemeal Food Provisions with her food box. And Kara, just give you a little wave there, I guess. Maybe you did. Yeah, well, I didn't see it. Rebecca Tran and Heather Lunan from the Station Food Company with their product, the Scoop product. And then we finally have the Burkett family with Revival Seeds, Ken and Kathy and Molly and Erica and, or not Erica, Rachel and Victoria, sorry. Good. So we have time now to, I think it'll come up on our screen right away. Everybody has a chance to vote. So Nyla, take it away. Everyone has a chance to vote here. Everybody can vote, even the applicants can vote too, so don't feel bad about it. Okay, Nyla, do you have the results? Just nod here if you do. Okay. Our vote is, whoa, we have a tie. Now, what do we do, Judy?
I'd say just relaunch the poll and only vote for those two, Judy. So if everyone only votes for one of those two, we can do it again.
Okay. And hopefully Nyla is going to have our winner for the People's Choice Award this time. Nyla? And it looks like Maple Grove Nursery. Okay. Well, folks, that brings us up to the presentation of the awards. And we're down to the final draw here. Let's see if I've forgotten anything with our, we're not in person, so it's a little bit more of a challenge here sometimes to see what we're doing. Okay. We have 2 awards this year. We just gave, well, actually, we just gave away the People's Choice Award, which is a $500 prize. The runners up will still get, that aren't the winner for the Ag Tech Award or the Ag Food Award, will still receive $625 worth of consulting and educational support. The awards, there's the 2 awards that we've created. As I mentioned earlier, we tried to create something of significance so that people could actually do something with them. We split it up a year or 2 ago into, it used to just be 1 award, but we wanted to have one for Ag Tech and we wanted to have one for Agri-food and down both those sectors. So I have the envelopes here and I will open it for everyone. The winner, we don't have a drum roll here, so unless somebody has one. The winner of the Agri-Tech Award, and this will be $16,250 of cash and in-kind contribution for 2021. The winner is Maple Grove Nursery. Give them a nice round of applause, please.
Thank you very much.
Michelle, would you like to say a word or 2 there?
Yeah, I want to thank the Chamber, of course. And I do feel very understood by the panel. So it was great to have people question me, want to understand what we're doing better. And just the idea that I can go back to my people that I've been in contact with. They're not even customers yet, but like they're just people who are enthusiastic for us with this system, that I can go back to them and say, look, I can do more for you now. It just makes me feel good.
Thank you. Now, part of the reason we also encourage people to go through the presentation process, and I know we have to thank all the applicants for the time they put into this and the preparation that they've made, but it also helps people learn to pitch their ideas to people and make connections with the other people in the sector, in the industry. So that's the purpose that we do everything like that. The 2021 Agri-Food A3 Award. Let's see where that goes, where the judges have taken it. The winner for the 2021 Agri-Food A3 Award for the Annapolis Valley Chamber of Commerce, the Station Food Company. Congratulations to Heather and Rebecca. Heather and Rebecca, would you like to say a word or 2?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support of this. Certainly, every contestant up here was equally equally deserving. the awards. We're grateful that the station was chosen. We're incredibly passionate about what we're doing, and look forward to the contribution that we can make to the collective, to the community.
Well, thank you. And I would like to encourage everybody that we need to take all the applicants, all the winners and the applicants as well, and support them as much as we can. Give them opportunities, buy their products, share their ideas with other people, and help them move things forward. Any final comments from anybody? Judy?
We have more blueberry juice if you want to do another spin the wheel.
Okay, we might as well
it's just so much fun.
Yeah, just do one more spin on the old dial here. Hayes McDougall.
She's not here. We'll draw again.
Okay.
This has been the most fun we've had all week, really. I don't know if Mike's here either.
Is Mike here?
Speak up if you're here. If not, I'll go again.
We can do this all day.
Let's go again. She wasn't here.
Okay. We should have done this earlier.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay. This one's for anyway.
Well, let's say Stephanie Huff is great at the needs. Stephanie can have it.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Well, thank you, folks. I appreciate everyone coming today and sharing their time with us to undertake the awards. I want to thank all the applicants again. We really appreciate you putting your time in. You know, the people that didn't win this year can apply again next year. We're always open for things. And we really need to look at building this community. This is all part of building that community in the Annapolis Valley to help everybody move forward. And we do appreciate the help. So unless there's any final comments from anybody, thank you very much for attending today and have a good rest of the day, please. Winners, I'll be in touch with you.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle's my daughter.
Ah.
Oh.
Congratulations. So, folks, we got through it in record time.
It was good.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it gives us kind of an idea of doing it online. I thought maybe it would take longer online a little bit, but I think we're all getting pretty efficient at this. So,
well, yeah, and it's just this rural internet issue, right? So,
yeah, no, that's always a problem. So, I